Hey guys, welcome back again today to American Central Podcast. I'm Kenny Corder here with your podcast, and today I have Kenneth Knight, the Swamp Ox, with me, and get him on the phone, get him on the video here, talk about some products, talk about how they come to be, go from there. We're literally 2 months from the Arkansas opening weekend. We're 8 weeks out right now from that opener. So I mean, it's getting here. And we talked earlier. You was telling me about the bow season about to be open there with Giant products and stuff for that too. So hunting season's right around the corner. But before we get started on that, kind of wanted to go over bio, who you are, and go from there. So go ahead and take it.
I'm Kenneth Knight. I've worked at Swamp Ox since we started. It's my dad's company. He's the one that founded it. We had some employees working on some water purification technology, and we had our own shop, and we were building stuff custom to order for a lot of customers, having us custom build things, and we kind of come to a lull in the business while we were waiting on some test results for some of our water equipment. And we had good labor, good welders, a good draftsman, and we could pretty much build anything we wanted to. And we were just trying to come up with a product or a line that we could, market and sell year round and have a steady stream of income rather than waiting on custom jobs. So, me and my dad spent a couple of weeks arguing over what we were going to name it. And I don't remember all the names I came up with, but I know that I locked down about 20 different Instagrams, and he locked down about 20 different domains on GoDaddy, and snatching up emails just in case anything we did pick, we had it locked down. And eventually we settled on Swamp Ox. That was he was sticking to it. And I said, okay, well, we'll give it a try. So we started off trying to make bumpers for trucks, and we only ever made 2 truck bumpers. And we started making racks and realized that the racks were going to be our bread and butter. So we just leaned into it, and we've been doing it since, January of 2020. Probably our first set of racks was sitting on a showroom floor in a dealership in, March or April of 2020. And we've just kept building and kept growing ever since then. So here we are today in September of 2021, and I'm talking to you.
Yeah. So, man, it just happened. So where are y'all based out of?
Springdale, Arkansas is where our shop is. We're in what would be our second facility now. We started out in about a 3,200 square foot, 2 roll-up door, little bitty garage shop that my dad's buddy rented to us. And then we realized we didn't have any office space there. So we put up a 40-foot mobile mini storage container. We put 4 desks in there, I'm talking white fold-out desks that we operated on, did all of our business and everything in a 40-foot storage container for almost a year until we finally got too big for our britches, and we moved into a 17,000 square foot facility that's got office space, a showroom. We got our own powder coating room. We're originally at our first shop, we had a 40-foot high cube that we converted into a powder coating booth. The front half of it is where everything was powder coated, and the back half of it we retrofitted to be an oven. And I drove by there the other day and looked at it, and I was just, I can't believe we did anything in this place. And progress is progress, and you got to appreciate it when you can. So that was kind of surreal for me to go see that stuff a while ago.
That makes sense. Yeah, it sounds like y'all hopping and popping. And your daddy, you said his name is Vaughn. Did he start the prior business, I guess, or is it something he bought out, or has he always been?
So he's got a buddy that had some technology that he wanted us to help him develop, and we started doing that water business. And like I said, we just had good labor, and we needed something we could continue to do while we were waiting. We still do the water business, but right now it's not our go-to focus. It's kind of a side thing for us. And Swamp Ox has taken over our main focus. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's different. I've seen it. Like, I got one of my friends and neighbors. He's been the videographer for the Southern Prairie for the last couple seasons. So I seen y'all on their stuff, and then I seen you on a couple other things, and that's where I seen the products coming out for the first time. And dude, in our world, social media kind of drives the train on a lot of stuff. How stuff comes out and gets shown and gets produced and stuff like that. So I started, y'all are essentially have become the competitor for somebody else. And so when you start seeing new stuff come out, everybody starts researching and looking, and and doing stuff. So it looks cool. And that's why I reached out to you. I was like, hey, I'd like to talk to you sometime about this stuff, get on a podcast and see where y'all come from and where you going type deal. So you said talk Swamp Fox. So when you're coming to this, though, to back up a little bit, I guess y'all are outdoorsmen. That would make sense to me.
Yeah, we're all. My dad is would be I guess the son of a third generation farmer, and him and my grandpa farmed 17,000 acres, mostly leased land up until about 1998. And my mom, at that point they had 4 kids from when they got married in I guess 89 to when they quit farming in 98. They had 4 kids in that, and I was the second one in that line. And my mom didn't want to continue that lifestyle where we were living. We were living in Stuttgart, Arkansas, which I'm sure everybody listening to this is familiar with, duck capital of the world. But they wanted to get my dad to finish school. So we moved back up to Fayetteville. My dad finished his undergrad. He went to law school, did all that, like 5 years worth of school in like 3 years, and got us into a better education environment. And I guess he just didn't want to continue farming like they had been. So they made a life choice change and moved 4 small kids in Northwest Arkansas. And my dad's practiced law ever since he's been up here. And as soon as he got out of school, and he's also operated multiple other businesses. So just a busy guy, and I'm happy to be able to help him do what he's doing now and do what he loves. It enables us to hunt and help other hunters be successful and have the right tools they need.
That makes sense. So his full-time job is being a lawyer there in Arkansas. That's good to know. I need to get his card because they were getting in trouble over there. But
yeah.
But then you said he bought out the power fabrication business and some other businesses, stuff like that, to diversify and do new stuff.
Yeah, well, actually, he founded both those businesses. Those aren't ones he bought out. So that's something he started.
Was he ever? You said he was a farmer. Was he ever into fabrication, welding and stuff? I guess welding stuff at the farm, maybe equipment and stuff. But
one of the guys we employ now worked for my dad and my grandpa on the farm for 10 or 15 years. They put him through welding school, and after 98, I only saw him every once in a while. He'd come visit my grandma and my grandpa up in Fayetteville. But when we started the water purification business and moved on into Swamp Ox, we gave him a call and got him to move up to Fayetteville and got him an apartment. And he's worked for us for about 3 years now. So he started off doing some of our welding, but he's really more of he's better on the road. So we keep him, moving our products, and he's kind of the type of guy you want to work by himself, because he don't communicate with people very well. So he just, we keep him busy, but that's the one link we have back to my dad's farming days would be Butch.
Yeah, that's all right. So everybody's got their strengths and weaknesses, right? So you got to use people where their strengths are. So
yes,
doing this now, you got the business. Y'all started the actual Swamp Ox brand under the other business during this whole COVID thing, kind of generating new stuff. What was the first product? You said the bumper. What was the first hunting product y'all come out with?
Well, one of my best friends in the whole world, Zach, he is pretty much the number one salesman at Heartland Honda in Northwest Arkansas. And we reached out to him if he could put us in contact with the ownership of the dealership he works at. And he got us connected with the owners over there, and they loaned us a couple side-by-side rigs to prototype on. We had initially used my brother-in-law's 3-seat Honda. It's like a brand new Honda, but his little brother or nephew, had rolled it. So as we were building it and, doing dimensions, we're like, this thing ain't symmetrical. And then we started looking at it. It's like, this thing's been rolled. Yeah. So we made some products for his side-by-side. And then we realized we needed to get one that hadn't been rolled. So that's where we got in contact with Heartland Honda, and we got like a 1003 from them. And the first products we ever built would be like our hood rack, our roof, and our bed rack for a Honda 1003. And then we gave that set to the dealership as a gift, for them letting us borrow their ride for 2 or 3 weeks while we were developing and, getting measurements. And then that's kind of just the whole story of that kind of repeated itself with Can-Am and Polaris. We talked to dealers like, hey, we made this for this product. If you could loan us one of your rigs, we can, make designs, and we can hook you up with the first set free. And then as we got, all those plans and designs for different models, customers started reaching out for us like, hey, can you do this for a Kubota? Or, hey, can you do this for a Kawasaki? Like, yeah, just bring us your rig. We can get all the measurements and we can do a computer design and get a plan to where we can, fabricate your set, but we can also order 30 more for whenever customers want that hood rack or they want that roof. So as far as growth, it started off with, us doing direct with dealerships, them letting us borrow rigs. But now it's, customers call us up and say, hey, if I bring you my, 1996 John Deere Gator, can y'all build something for it? And we're like, yeah, we're going to need it for a few days. I can't build anything if I can't see it. I do our 3D modeling and like AutoCAD stuff. We use a program called Autodesk Inventor. So if I can, measure on somebody's side by side, or if they've got some sort of weird electric golf cart they want us to build some custom products for, all we got to do is draw it, make sure it's going to fit, and order it, and then get it installed. And we can do custom stuff just as well as we can do, part sets of stuff where we order 30 for something like my Kawasaki roofs I offer. We order those in sets of 30 because we know people are going to buy them and people are going to need them. But if you bring me your golf cart and you want me to build you a custom roof and all kinds of stuff, I'm probably not going to order 30 of that.
That makes sense. That software seems like a lot of CNC machinists and designers use to, get a low tolerance, product made. So y'all not just tape measuring and cutting and welding. You're actually designing, prototyping, and going from there. It sounds like.
The only part of our manufacturing process we don't do in-house is the cutting and bending of so we'll send, say we're getting 30 Kawasaki roofs cut out. We will send sheet aluminum, in a 5x10 sheet to Technical Laser in Northwest Arkansas or Arkansas Machine Works in Tawnytown. And then we'll send them our designs, like our DXF files and like a PDF of all our measurements and dimensions for a certain assembly. And then they will take that information and then cut that metal out to the parts we need and bend all the stuff, because we don't have a press brake to bend everything. I mean, I got stuff, but I mean, the type of like machines, the press brake, and then like the water jets or CNC machines and stuff they use, that's, a couple $100,000 just for a used one. So we outsource that part of our manufacturing, but all the welding and then powder coating and assembly and shipping and everything else in our manufacturing process, we do that. At some point we'd like to have, a CNC machine or a water jet. But we're just going to have to, cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, we're just going to have to keep outsourcing that part.
That's pretty neat. So I'll say somebody like me, I've got something that I'm wanting. I got a Ford Excursion that I actually got from Arkansas. I bought it from my buddy Aiken up there in Jonesboro. He had it since 2000. I mean, so it's been a hunting truck, but I would like to have a roof rack on it, low profile, to go in there and take the place of the other one. So if you had a vehicle like that, y'all could measure it and do a one-off.
Oh, absolutely. If I knew the model and I could find someone that had, one like yours I could prototype on or get measurements off of, or if I had your vehicle for, 2 or 3 days, however long we needed to make sure we're confident that what we're going to get cut and bent is going to fit correctly and it's going to look good. My dad's a bit of a perfectionist. So, I mean, we wouldn't send anything out the door we weren't proud of and, didn't think looked aesthetically, pleasing. So we've kind of got a branding to what our stuff looks like. And we try, and even if it's for, a Can-Am or a Polaris or, we're putting something on your Excursion, we've got like an image and a branding we want to stick to. And,
you stick to it and go. That's pretty neat. A lot of companies will make their products, but they don't like getting into the one-off type deal. So the fact that
we do all kinds of custom stuff. We built 32 flight simulators for a company that shipped them to a NATO training facility in Spain. They're expecting to do some press release here soon about our. We built the aluminum hull. They took care of all the virtual reality technology and all the computers and stuff on it. But that was a fun little. It started off as a one-off job. They asked us to help them complete one to show to like a general or something that needed to come look at it, and before they ordered 32 of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't mind doing custom work. We do custom audio. Pretty much anything that we can do, we're willing to do, but I mean, everything's got a price. So people got to be
Oh
prepared
yeah.
to pay what custom price is.
Well, that's right. And I tell everybody, and it's this way. The horse train, dog train. I mean, I lived a millionaire lifestyle on a $60,000 a year budget. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
the expensive is cheap, right? I mean, you get what you pay for. You can buy, you can go to Trucker's Warehouse and buy a stock out of the box roof rack and try to make it work and drill and cut, whatever. And it may get the job done, may not be 100% what you want or, whatever, but, pay once, cry once type deal or, whatever. You can get what you pay for. So if it's a good product and it's, somebody sells, it's like putting Linex in a truck bed. Somebody had that in their Ranger and sell the Ranger, it's just going to raise the value of, you're going to get your money back or something like that if you want to sell it. Or you may just be upgrading and you can pull that off, sell your Ranger, get a new one, as long as it's the same body style like most of them are for a long period of time. Then you could slap it back on there and, carry with you. So to me, I see it as a good investment.
Firm believer in you get what you pay for. And that, dribbles down to labor, parts, material, anything, that's part of life. You buy quality stuff and you have quality laborers and, you spend a lot of time making sure you got good quality control and you can deliver a quality part to your customer. So,
yeah. Now, that makes sense. And now a lot of your stuff, because it's just what's in right now is y'all do lighting for all of it too, right? Y'all do that in house, wire it up, seal it.
Yes, sir. I have
green's my favorite color, so that works out for me. But the I see everything, and you go out there. Tell me about the lighting, what y'all can add to these packages.
So we price everything without lights, and then we offer what we call lit up package, which is everything to the nines, as many lights as you can put on. If you've got say a crew Polaris, and we put a crew roof on it, a hood rack, and a bed rack on it, we're going to be able to put 8 flush mount lights, 3 cargo lights underneath the roof on the inside, all kinds of accent lights on the inside that can light you up green or red if you want to. We'll do 2 cubes out the front in green, 2 cubes out the back that are going to be green, and we'll run everything off a Heiss 8-gang switch. And that light package is expensive, but if you start thinking about everything I just named, that's a whole lot of lights, and those LED lights aren't cheap. So we let customers pick and choose if they don't want to get that whole light package. Say a guy just wants 2 front-facing flush mount lights, we'll put that on there, and that's fine. The reason we offer that lit up package is just if a customer does want everything on there, and I'd say the majority of our customers normally do want everything on there, it's an easy option just to click on and select. But customers definitely have the option to call us up and be like, hey, I don't need this, $1,500 light package on my roof. What can we do different? Yeah, we can do whatever you want. If you want us to put a 50-inch light bar, we'll do that too. But as far as aesthetics for all of our roofs, we have them pre-cut to fit a 6-inch flush mount driving light. It's in the LED world, there's really 2 types of guys. There's the guys that want that 50-inch light bar that looks big and gaudy, but it's also prone to get snapped off and be hanging on the side of your rig and be completely useless. Yeah. We went with the flush mount style to avoid that, to where it's protected in an aluminum rack, and it can't really be damaged. It can't get knocked off. It obviously won't give you the same amount of lighting a 50-inch light bar is, but every 50-inch light bar I've ever seen is almost completely overkill. So it's just up to your customer, whatever they want to get.
And for me, and again, I relate everything back to how I would use stuff. I could see having a little light bar on the grill bumper, which most of these things now, most of the headlights are LED, everything's comes with packages, so you still get good visual. For us, though, it's when you're unloading, you put it apart, you're getting out of the pit, you get out the blind, and getting the dogs out, getting the guns out, throwing decoys out. I want the 360. I want to be able to see what's falling in the water, to see what's going around, to see that kind of stuff. And to me, that's what I like about having that 360 lights, whether it be on one of my Army trucks or whether it be whatever. I'll be able to flip on a switch and light up what I want to light up, stuff like that. So to me, that sounds like it makes sense.
And you get spoiled quick when you have all that, 360 lighting, whether it's on your truck or your side by side or whatever it is, or your boat. And then you get in one that doesn't have it, and you're like, damn, this ain't headlamp.
You don't have. That's right. You gotta start looking for that headlamp. I gotta put a headlamp on. I need a flashlight. Son of a gun.
42 pockets and can't ever find my headlamp.
And that's a mess neat. And so I think I may have told you when we talked on the phone a couple weeks ago. I just ordered me a 2022 Polaris North Star, right? Yes. So it's already got the roof, it's got the liner, it's got dome lights. So if I have one like that I'm not actually needing a roof, I'm just needing a rack. Is that a different? Do you have more than one product, or is it a one?
Yes, sir. We make we call it like a floating roof, or we market it as a roof basket. Mm-hmm. For your guys that buy that North Star or the Can-Am Limited or whatever that come with the factory roof and it's got the liner and it's already got a few lights in there that don't want to. There's no reason for you to take off your factory roof that's got a liner. It's also got windshield wiper wires and, tubes you ran up under there and all that wiring. So we don't interfere with that on the Limiteds and the North Stars. We have a bracketed floating roof basket that brackets in on the back of your rig and then on the sides to give the same amount of storage that you would have if you had a roof replacement like we offer as well. But yeah, we solved that problem because we realized that customers that spend the amount of money they do on that Limited or that North Star don't want to take that factory roof off just because, one, you already paid for it. And two, it's got essential stuff you need on the inside. But so whenever we would wire up a lit up package for a customer like you that already has that roof, we would install our factory lights or our like LED heist lights on the underside with your lining and everything, and it wouldn't mess up your roof. And so, it's a little bit more expensive than what we normally sell our factory or our standard roof, but and we got to make those 1/4-inch brackets rather than 1/8-inch aluminum, which we normally use. So
yeah,
it's a little bit.
How do y'all wire like mine has the bus bar with that? Do y'all actually wire a switch in like a rocker switch, or how do y'all? What's the controls?
We use it's a Heist 8-gang switch. You can find them on Amazon anywhere between $300 and $400. It's got 8 different buttons on it and then a center button in the middle that you can use as a memory button. So say, like you want to be able to walk over and turn on all your lights at once. If you turn on all 8 of your lights and then hit the memory button in the middle, it'll save it. And then next time you turn your vehicle on, you hit that memory button right in the middle, it'll turn on everything, from your side lights to your front, to your back, to your cargo, to your green accent lights, give you 360 view, around you and inside your rig and outside of it too, if you don't have any doors. But we also offer some like undercarriage lighting, like underglow, if people want that, if they want to be able to see stuff on the ground. I don't know about you, but when you're wearing gloves and trying to put stuff in pockets, stuff tends to fall on the ground every once in a while. So it's nice to be able to see what's around your rig other than just what's inside it.
And and look at this big picture. I say big picture for look at it for what it is. I live in it every day. You see my stuff. So I'm in the social media, YouTube, Instagram. Hey, sexy is cool. It looks good. It's cool. It's what people like. You like what you like. You want to go out there.
Aesthetics matter.
Yeah. So it is what it is, and I like stuff that looks cool. Yeah, I got a 95 Ford Bronco, and I may drive it around, but I want the wheels I want on it, I want the tires I want on it. I want it to, I like for stuff to look sharp. And even if it is just a hunting truck or a hunting rig, or whatever, things got to have a purpose. But it's still, the sport we're in, at least in the duck world, we're a very gear-driven sport. Everybody likes their guns, they like their calls, they like their side-by-sides, they like their boats, so depending on what they do, however you hunt. We're a very gear-driven sport. So if you're going to take care, and that's the same thing. So we get all the gear, you got to haul it out there somehow.
Yes, sir. And different people have different priorities, what they're going to spend their money on. But as far as, your vehicle that you're going to have and your gun and your clothes you're going to be wearing, that's normally where people make most of their priorities for what they're going to spend their stuff on when they're hunting. So, some people look at our products and think our prices are outrageous, but some of them look at them and think, man, I'm getting a good deal on everything I'm getting. So it's just, how different people choose to prioritize where they put their money for their hunting experience is going to be really the determining factor on whether people want to spend money on one of my products or they'd rather spend money on a crazy gun. So,
So what are products y'all currently offer?
We make, boat racks for, storing stuff under, decoys or bow fishing off of. We also make roofs and bed racks and hood racks for different side-by-side models for pretty much everything Polaris makes, down from their biggest, 1000 XP down to their 570. Can-Am, we offer, roofs and bed racks for all of their models. I haven't got a hold of one of their new Commanders yet, but I'd like to start building some stuff on those. For Honda, we offer, roofs, bed rack, hood racks for their, 1000 series. And then we also offer stuff for their 700 series. Then Kubota, we've got a few of their options on our price sheet that we sell. Then Kawasaki, their Pro FX and their Pro FXT, which are going to be their biggest, income creators, because that's probably the model most people are going to buy. And then, anything else we've built custom that we can offer to customers, hey, we've already got this drawn, we offer that as well. And then we do all kinds of custom audio and custom lighting for people, whether it's on their Jeep or, and then, we can build anything. So, but as far as stuff I have on my website price sheet, we got our crawfish cooker and then all of our racks for different side-by-sides.
Now I'm going to have to check out this crawfish cooker.
You'll have to come see it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Don't listen. Have ducks will travel. I'm not far. My lodge is in Bono, and I got land between all the way from Walnut Ridge down to Wiener Grubs area. So I'm all in Northeast Arkansas. If they ain't nothing but a trip, we're going to have some crawfish. I'll come running. Well, I'm here in Arkansas now, like I was telling you beforehand. And not Arkansas, Arizona. And a lot of people never had crawfish. So we did a big crawfish bowl a couple months ago. We ordered it from Louisiana, had it overnighted here. And we had a good time, man. We fed about 30 people full of crawfish, corn, and andouille sausage. And I'm all about it. So if you got a crawfish cooker, then I'm in like Flint.
Yeah, from early February till July, if we can get it to go through July, about every weekend, you can find me around my crawfish cooker.
I like it. That's good stuff. Now, talk about a lot of your products. Can people just order them and have them shipped to them? And is it something that somebody with their buddy can put on themselves? Like if they're too far to come to you, could you ship one to Alabama to me, and then me and a buddy could put it on? Or is that something that y'all got to, be there?
Yeah. Well, I've shipped stuff to Canada. I've shipped stuff to Alaska. We ship all over the U.S. But as far as installing, like all of our roofs, anybody with any sort of, that can work a wrench or can work a impact can do all of our installs. The one thing that kind of is a limiting factor for some of our customers is if they buy a bunch of lights, now we can of course pre-wire them and install them on the rig, but the only limiting factor on people's, can they install it themselves with a buddy or with their son or something is, what's their wiring knowledge? Do they know how to wire things? Are they comfortable, doing electrical stuff on their battery? Because, people spend, anywhere between $15,000 and $30,000 on their side-by-sides. And if they don't know, diddly squat about, plus and minus and how to wire things, and they start trying to do that on their own, they can risk, frying a very expensive toy. So customers that are comfortable doing that, we'll ship it to them and let them wire it. But most people, I recommend they get it installed by a professional, whether it be a dealership or, some sort of audio and video store in town that, does stuff for cars and stuff and wouldn't have a problem doing that. But if all you bought was a bed rack and a hood rack and a roof, and you just said, I don't need any lights, I may add some later, we could ship it to you and you could figure it out. Each one would take anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes, depending on the difficulty of the thing. But all of our stuff mounts into factory mounting points on, the Polaris, Can-Am, Honda, everything's, designed to fit. You're not going to have to open up our product and then do a bunch of modification to your vehicle. And then we'd like to at some point do some video instruction videos where people can, find a link on our website and then go watch, my shop foreman do an install. But we just haven't got that far yet. So as far as right now, we have a a computer typed instruction with some images from our 3D drawings that customers can reference. And then also people are welcome to call us and ask questions at any time. We'll get questions from dealerships. But, hey, I got a tech doing an install. Do you mind if you get on the phone? I'm like, yeah, have them FaceTime me. I'm sure we can figure that out. It's usually something simple or they dropped a part or something. It's not complicated what they're doing. They're just it's simple installs is the short answer to that. I guess
you brought up a good point. Is the dealers too? Y'all are working with dealers. So if I want to go to my local dealer and be like, hey, this is what I want, order it, or I've ordered it, I'm having it shipped here, put it on my. You said because we talked about y'all are working with dealers and have dealers across the country that y'all talk to and do stuff with.
Yeah, I've got dealers up in Montana and Wyoming, and then all over the South. And I've got a couple in Colorado I've sold some stuff to. Last year, starting in fall up until I want to say late April, early May of this year. I mean, I was on the road. I put 37,000 miles on my truck last year, just on my personal truck, and then another 20,000 on a work truck that I was hauling a trailer and a side-by-side around to dealerships all over the country, just trying to make introductions, showing them a demo rig, trying to sign up new dealers. And, COVID really hurt us just with the amount of inventory dealers are carrying because they can't get stuff from the factory. So, we've kind of switched to a model of where dealers call us whenever they need something rather than carrying us in inventory, because there's no point in them carrying inventory if they only got 2 rigs on the lot and they can't put anything on. Early on COVID, when dealers were selling 300 or 400 rigs a month, I mean, we were turning and burning and they were carrying our inventory. And now that these dealerships are having problems keeping inventory on the lot because everything they get is pre-sold. As soon as they bring something in, they put it together and tell the customer, hey, come pick it up. And he paid for it 8 weeks ago. So what the model we've been operating on for the last, I guess, less than a year or so, since inventory kind of got wacky in side-by-side dealerships, they're doing, build to order stuff. So they'll have a customer walk in and say, hey, I found this company on Instagram, or one of my buddies told me about it or whatever. Can you order this? And then they call us up. If they're a pre-existing dealer, yeah, we'll get it right to you. If they're a new dealer, we'll just ask them a few questions, tell them if they're comfortable with, either paying us ahead of time is what we prefer, but we can also do it, get a check whenever the stuff gets delivered. And then we also just, we try and, keep up with our dealers and try and stay in contact with them and let them know that if there's anything we can do to help them. Whether it be showing up and bringing a demo rig to some sort of conference or some sort of convention they're going to be putting on. If we can help them, and then, that puts us in their good graces, they may be more likely to, order our stuff rather than one of my competitors. So,
yeah.
Our biggest dealer is Honda of Forest City. They're a platinum level dealer for us. Like they move more of our product than probably our next 2 or 3 dealers combined. So we're grateful for them, and we're just looking for the next dealer that'll do what they've done for us. So
that's awesome. Well, you definitely got to have that on the business side, so think about the future. Is there any products that you are dwelling on right now? Any future things that you are thinking on that for the future?
I've got a lot of things in my head rolling around and probably not supposed to be talked about. So yeah, we've got lots of stuff planned, but I just we'll do a press release or Instagram release or something whenever we've got those things ready. You hate to create suspense, not be able to deliver. We did that last year with our crawfish cooker. We wanted to have it ready before crawfish season, and just the way materials and the time it took to get it properly ready. We did about 3 or 4 different prototypes before we were comfortable and ready to put one on market. And we didn't have it ready till, first week of March, and crawfish season had been going on for 3 weeks by that point. So, we don't want to be caught with our pants down again like that. But
I can tell you, somebody who runs dogs, if y'all ever looked at doing some kind of aluminum light, like duck hanger, duck dryer, decoy hanger, stuff like that, that's, kind of, if y'all made, 100 of them, you probably sell 100 a year, something like that, but just some side products, get in with the HRC grain and stuff like that. I mean, right now we're all still using old handmade stuff that we've made that falls apart, or, all kinds of stuff like that. So something better, collapsible that could do something like that would be nice. Just throwing that out there,
Yeah, I've made about half a dozen probably aluminum dog boxes for people that, either they coon hunt or they squirrel hunt or whatever. They just need to be able to tow their, dogs around in the back of their bed safely, and not take up too much bed space, and, also can be used as a bench. So there are plenty of products we'd like to, produce more of and get into that market. But right now we've just been sticking to what's been working, and the crawfish cooker and then all of our other products are really what's made us most of our money. So,
yeah.
But we don't, like I said, we don't have any problem starting something else or, creating a different product that people will be using. Like you said, waiter hangers. I mean, I see cheap products that people make on Amazon that people buy, and then they're broken within three weeks into the season. So, I mean, we could definitely make something like that we could put on our website, for $100 plus shipping or whatever, something that wouldn't be expensive to manufacture, and that we know it would be a sturdy product that we wouldn't mind, selling to our customers, being proud of.
Somebody comes to the products, I mean, the sky's the limit. Waiter hangers, duck dryers, blind caddies. I mean, because it seems like y'all got a process, especially with y'all's machining. You got somebody come up with something that's maybe send y'all some schematics. Y'all probably try it out. It sounds like.
Yeah, one thing I'm working on right now, I drew up some drawings for this customer. His son races at the King of the Hammers. You familiar with that? It's a side-by-side race they do out somewhere in the desert in one of them western states. I don't know exactly where it is, but his dad runs the chase rig that follows him around and has like a welder and air compressors, and spare tires, and all kinds of stuff on it that is a support vehicle, extra gas cans and stuff, or if they break an axle and they got to repair something. And he said just sandy as all get out there. And the dust and sand just eats up all his, equipment, welders and air compressors and anything that's got moving parts on it. It's got, sand in it. That's friction and extra wear and tear on it. He wanted us to, are you familiar with our bed racks we make, I assume?
Yeah.
He wanted us to build one that could be enclosed. So I drew 2 side doors to cover up those, the arch space in between the 2 legs. And then I also drew a door that can articulate, up, from vertical to horizontal. And then we've enclosed the back portion of that. So that'll be one thing that we'll probably have some pictures and videos up on in probably the next 2 or 3 weeks after we've got that complete and we're satisfied that it looks good enough to sell to our customers. So
a buddy of mine, he does, he owns his own outdoor marketing business. But this I'm talking about, but on this part, he's a marine recon guy. Eric Schwartz is on one of my podcasts, if you heard him. But they do a marine UTV racing. Event UTV racing where Vader's got their a racing team and do stuff like that. And that sounds like a product that they might even be interested in to have the follow-on vehicle for those long distance UTV races they do. So, it seems like y'all being innovative. I mean, like I said, I found y'all on my buddy's YouTube channel, and then I started hitting y'all up on Instagram, and then linked up with you. So I'm definitely excited to see what y'all have coming out. I may have to get my hands on some products sometime here soon. So
yeah, you're welcome to come stop by and come have a look at our shop. Just put some, hand to hand handshake.
I like it. I like it.
One thing, but I'd like to meet you at some point.
Yeah, me too. Lastly, I try to get most of my people, especially the guys that are outdoor people, kind of off the topic. We talked about crawfish a little bit, but what's your favorite duck or goose recipe? Last thing, how do you like prepping them? You told me earlier, y'all went in and hit the early goose season earlier, so.
I listened to a few of your other podcasts, so you're probably going to roast me, but I really do like some poppers.
The poppers, everybody gets the poppers. I tell you what.
My mom makes a fine duck casserole. I've got eight duck breasts that we killed January 10th is what the Ziploc bag says. Defrosting in my sink right now. I'm going to take them to her and she's going to make some duck casserole with it. So I really enjoy that. But poppers it's hard to beat. And it's a lot of work. It's like you got to have a good team of three or four good old boys, putting in work. Somebody running them toothpicks, somebody slapping that bacon on, somebody loading the cream cheese. So just a fun activity. I got a group of three of my buddies that I spend a lot of my hunting season time with. Is my brother-in-law is one of them, and then 2 of the guys are married to 2 of my cousins. So we'll go to work on some poppers, and it's a lot of work for that little bitty reward. It's about that big, but that's it's hard to beat.
We during Dusty's this year, we killed mess load, and I ended up doing kebabs for the first time this year. Duck kebabs, right to meat and bacon, but then put them on there with peppers and pineapples and stuff. So it was real good. But something I'm going to try. I was watching on Phil Robertson that day did a video on him making duck dressing, and that was pretty good. So I'm going to have to try that out this year. I done got it saved in my notes to try out.
Yeah, I will also slice up some breasts and do fajitas quite regularly with duck. Pretty much any
That sounds good. I've done just the seared duck before, just throwing it like a steak, something like that. But I'll do like an ahi slice of that. But I mean, you're essentially making fajita strips. So I've actually thought about that too, doing my own little fajita. Sounds like it'd be pretty cool.
My one of my cousin's husbands that I'd spent a lot of time with hunting, Tyler, he's got a Blackstone grill in his garage, like at the cabin we always stay at the camp. He calls it my grill because it never gets used unless I'm there. But we'll definitely, as soon as we pop out some breasts after we get back from a good day hunting, we'll definitely throw a few on there and eat those before we can either freeze them or decide what we're going to do with them later that night. But I do like some seared duck breast.
Yeah, I throw mine in a brine for the night or for half the day. Let them brine and soak up a little bit, then dry them off the next morning, and you can go from there. So there's all kinds of ways you can do them. The people who just shoot ducks and give them to other people, I don't understand. I get you want to hunt, but man, I like eating them, ducks and geese, and I do a big goose pulled pork barbecue sandwich I like making. And there's all kinds of and like you said, hanging out. Yeah, I'll do the goose, and I'll do a pulled pork sandwich with Coca-Cola or some old school apple cider, and do all that in the crock pot, for half a day, and then it just pulls apart with a fork. It is some good stuff. So, and everybody likes on the bonus barbecue sauce and different. There's just all kinds of stuff you do. Like you're talking about with your friends. If everybody's still hanging around duck camp, everybody's still together doing stuff, and that's kind of what duck hunting, anyways. That's part of what I do. I enjoy being with everybody, so that just extends our time together.
Yeah. Food. I mean, to me, I love eating. I mean, but cooking is really one of my passions. Like I love, experimenting with different kinds of foods, and the fact that wild game is available and that we're allowed to go out and, harvest it. I mean, there's limitless possibilities what you can do with your wild game. So, saying that poppers is my favorite thing to eat doesn't mean I don't eat it 1,000 different ways, but, that's I know I knew I was going to catch some flack for that after listening to a few of your other podcasts.
It's the go-to, and I get it. It's easy, it's quick, and it still tastes good. So I get it. Well, hey, Kenneth, man, I appreciate your time, bud.
Of course.
I appreciate being on here and us getting to work around our schedules. And man, hopefully I'll see you in the future. I'll be in Arkansas here in about 7 weeks, so maybe we can cross paths.
All right, man. I look forward to seeing you.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You too.